Hello. Welcome back. We're on lesson.
Welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back. Hi, sis.
Hi. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm sure my angels
Merry Christmas. We're recording this on Christmas Day.
We are.
1820. Yeah, I'm just a couple of 100 years behind. Where did that come from?
Wow, sis. Yeah.
What is it?
It's 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. Yep. It is Christmas 2020, and nothing that I'd rather do than go through the workbook lessons with you, sis. So thank you for the joining.
Thank you.
We're on lesson 29. God is in everything I see. That's staggering to consider. Thank God it's true. Okay. Do you want to read? What do you feel?
No. Well, you read and then
you interrupt me.
Yeah.
Cool. The idea for today explains why you can see all purpose in anything. It explains why nothing is separate by itself or in itself. And it explains why nothing you see means anything. In fact, it explains every idea we have used thus far and all subsequent ones as well. Today's idea is the whole basis for vision. You will probably find this idea very difficult to grasp at this point. You may find it silly, irreverent, senseless, funny, and even objectionable. Certainly, God is not in a table, for example, as you see it. Yet, we emphasized yesterday that a table shares the purpose of the universe. And what shares the purpose of the universe shares the purpose of its creator. Try then today to begin to look how to look on all things with love, appreciation, and open-mindedness. There's the keys right there. You do not see them now. Would you know what is in them? Nothing is as it appears to you. Its holy purpose stands beyond your little range. When vision has shown you the holiness that lights up the world, you will understand today's idea perfectly, and you will not understand how you could ever have found it difficult. Our 6 2-minute practice periods for today should follow a now familiar pattern. Begin with repeating the idea to yourself, and then apply it randomly to chosen subjects about you, naming each one specifically. Try to avoid the tendency toward self-directed selection, which may be particularly tempting in connection with today's idea because of its wholly alien nature. Remember that any order which you impose is equally alien to reality. Wow. Your list of subjects should therefore be as free of self-selection as possible. For example, a suitable list might include: God is in this coat. God is in this magazine. God is in this finger. God is in this lamp. God is in that body. God is in that door. God is in that cup. In addition to the assigned practice periods, repeat the idea for today at least once an hour, looking slowly about you as you say the words unhurriedly to yourself. At least once or twice, you should experience a sense of restfulness as you do this.
So I've made some notes here, and I think it would be fun to share them, yeah, and discuss it, right? And so just going, that's a big one. God is in everything I see. It's so huge, and I vaguely remember doing this lesson and going, well, for me back then, it felt like a contradiction. So I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. maybe this might help you to get it too, is I'm just going to refer to the split mind. You know, while we think we're here in a body in a separated world, we're actually seeing from what Jesus calls a split mind in A Course in Miracles. Now, that's not the brain, the human brain. It's the mind, right? Our mind, of course, the truth of our mind with a capital M is it belongs in God and it's changeless. It doesn't know an opposite of God because it knows there is no opponent to God, right? It's impossible. Mm-hmm. But remember that the mind of the Son of God, which is us, fell asleep. We chose to have a dream of not God, right? So we in effect chose to have a part of our mind to perceive in a dream the opposite of God. And that's what we're seeing here in the world, within the body, in others, everything, right?
Right.
So going back to our true identity, which is the Christ, which is the vision aspect that these lessons are trying to encourage in us, vision. So what we're being gently taken to is to open our mind again, to open it to the vision, Christ vision, which is already there. It's never changed. It's already there. We've covered it over with massive amnesia, so to speak, with a false identity, call it the ego in our mind or whatever, right? And the false identity is hinged on fear, conflict, lack, pain, loss, unhappiness. It perceives all of the opposite of God. So it perceives illusion. And of course, the truth in us, the vision part of us, really only knows endless joy, happiness, peace, union, love, and all of those kinds of things, right?
Right.
So when in this lesson 29, God is in everything I see, what he's trying to do there is encourage us to realize that there is no gap between what we're seeing seemingly out there in our body, in another person, in the world, and what we are as the true self, the Christ self, or what we call the holy self, right? So it's collapsing that gap. Remember the diagram that Coreen brought out quite a while back I can't remember the earlier lessons. Yeah, there it is.
So there's the split mind looking in on an illusory place of time and space, and all the contents are the meaning behind all of it is to block out love, and everything in it has fear and guilt as its basis. And so when we're ready and wanting to, and we want to see with Christ's vision, when we join with our right mind, the holy self, right? There's the mind of God. Everything in that gap goes, and we're knowing with God. We see with God because our mind and God's mind are one. So what's within the circle and what is without the circle is the same. So even the circle itself would dissolve, and we're just one in God. Christ.
Thank you, sis. Yeah, because once we give Holy Spirit our willingness, our permission to see, really see, right? Then God is in everything I see, because I'm seeing through God in my mind, right? Okay? And what I see through God in my mind is healed already.
That's right.
That's the truth, right?
Right.
It's already healed. So we're seeing a holy purpose for everything instead of the ego's purpose for everything, which is separation, right?
Definitely. Yes. So everything, if it's just God and God's creation, then there is the ability to know and to see with God. And this idea of separation and looking through things through a body, which means we're looking through fear. Look at this where he says, try then today to begin to learn how to look on all things with love, appreciation, and open-mindedness. So there's an assumption in there that he's telling us that the way you guys are seeing now, you guys, it's through fear, unappreciation, and closed-mindedness. So the ego sees fearful objects, it decides that it knows what it is, and there's no appreciation for what it really stands for. So, the fear gives us a contracted state or view or sense of things, but there is the truth that underlies it. And the way to know it is to just this practice of how to look upon it with love and appreciation and really open-mindedness, like that. I don't know what anything is for. Right now, I'm seeing things that are meaningless. Right? So yeah, so that's a great pointer. God is there to behold if we want to see it.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. So it's great. Let's get curious about, wow, what's it like to look with Christ's vision, to view with God instead of defending against what God is doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, sis. That's great. Well, okay. So God is in everything I see.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson 29. Anything else?
No, that's beautiful to be doing this lesson on Christmas Day.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.